Hi everybody. I wanted to go live and talk about why I started my health and fitness journey and how I got started with coaching. In March of 2016, I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS, which can mean a lot of different things. I was having some abnormal bleeding going on and some irregularities going on. And as far as the bleeding went, it was very abnormal. It took 13 doctors before I could even get this diagnosis. And with the help of my mom, and thank goodness she took me to the doctor, otherwise I really don't know where I would have been. But went to the doctor and they put me on birth control pills. Normally you take one a day for a month. Well, I had to take them aggressively, so I had to take 4 a day for 4 days, 3 a day for 3 days, 2 a day for 2 days, and then took the last one. And then after that I took them normally for 4 months, and then I was having some pain like in the back of your legs, like behind where your kneecap is, and that can be a sign of an allergic reaction or blood clots. So on a trial basis, I got permission to go off the medications that I was on, and it was okay. And then we had some financial struggles where we were living, and we moved back in with my in-laws for a year. And during that time, I was also told when I first got diagnosed that I would probably never be a mom, which that's a pretty hard pill to swallow no matter what age you are, especially since it's something I've always wanted, was to be able to have kids. And so that was really hard mentally and emotionally. And when I first went to the doctor, I weighed 250 pounds, and that's the most I've ever weighed in my life, like ever. And so I started asking myself questions like, how did I get to that point? Like, what types of things have I been doing to get to that point? And so now back to our financial struggle and moving in with my in-laws. We moved in October of 2016, and I couldn't work because my license was suspended due to some unwise choices that I made. Not 100% my fault, but I can take responsibility for that. I wasn't completely in the right, but I wasn't completely in the wrong, and I can own that. So we moved back in, and then in December, I hadn't had a period in quite a while, which for me, like every 6 to 9 months is when I was getting one, but that's not normal either. And so I should be having one about every 4 months, even with the PCOS. So we got a test, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be negative. It's not going to come out positive. And with being told by 13 different doctors I wouldn't have kids, lo and behold, a positive test result. So the next day I went to my family doctor and I got it confirmed, and I was pregnant, which was the biggest shock. Like, I was in the middle of just getting started back working out once we got moved, and I had to stop. I stopped working out for 6 weeks. It did end in a miscarriage, but it was still a blessing to know that it was possible. So that part of my story got rewrote, which kind of is exciting to think about. I knew I was going to miscarry at my first appointment for ultrasound, but I don't really talk about the miscarriage much because I was a little too okay with it. but sometimes we process things way later on, and it's over a year later and I'm still processing, but that's okay. Everything happens for a reason. God has a plan, and I believe that. And when I first got started in 2016, I really started with my nutrition. Dumb fly. I started with my nutrition because that has always been my downfall, and that was tough because I found out I was allergic to dairy, and with PCOS, if you're the kind I have, if you're allergic to dairy and gluten, you need to eliminate dairy, gluten, and soy. I'm not diabetic, but a lot of people are, and soy can cause you to be insulin resistant, which means you can have a hard time doing any type of weight loss. And so my sister really helped me. She was a big help in the beginning of my journey. And for exercise, I did not even wait 24 hours before joining Team Beachbody as a customer, and I had size already. And so I reached out to my coach for accountability and support, and got plugged into a challenge group, and support has been amazing. Team Beachbody is such a great community. Like, I really do not know where I would be without them. Like, without my Fit Fam, I would still be 52 pounds, between 52 and 60 pounds overweight, probably still having some of the symptoms that I had, and I feel the healthiest I've felt in years. And so I got started with coaching because I want to be able to start a family someday. But I want to be able to start a family someday and to have a successful pregnancy. In order to do that, I need to take care of myself. And that involves having very healthy nutrition, no processed foods, no dairy, no gluten, no soy. Sounds boring, but I promise you, my foods aren't boring, and I definitely eat plenty of food, especially when I did 80-day obsession. But I really just want to be able to show somebody it is possible, even if you have PCOS or any type of autoimmune disorder. And I was very depressed before I lost the weight. Like, I wore black sweatshirts all the time, like pullover hoodies, because I was embarrassed of how I looked, and I wasn't happy. I had very low self-esteem, no confidence, and it was just a nightmare to me, and just getting diagnosed was hard, but at the same time, it saved my life. And coaching has done so much for me. It's given me a total shift in mindset, and I didn't realize how much I needed this coaching opportunity in my life. It has made such a difference in so many ways, and it's helped me grow as a person, and I want to be able to just help others. Just know you don't have to feel lost or alone or depressed. Sometimes it's just as simple as starting to take a 30-minute walk, or I started changing with my nutrition. So the first thing I did, I eliminated dairy. So I went from drinking 1% or skim milk to vanilla unsweetened almond milk, which is now my favorite. I buy like 2 cartons a week. Partly because of shakes, but I love it. And then I've just figured out other alternatives. I went to Pinterest and put in like whole foods, high fiber. Because if you have PCOS, they say low carb or high fiber, but I definitely did the high fiber. And I switched from white processed bread to Pepperidge Farms. It's a 15 or 12 grain bread. And then I went from buying like jelly to fruit spreads, which is better for you. And so I really started and dialed in with nutrition. I had to start with walking because at 250 pounds, it was going to be hard no matter what I did. But what was harder was being 100 pounds overweight in total and having to carry that 100 pounds around. After I lost about 15 to 20 pounds, I recommitted to Size, which is a dance program, dance cardio. Shaun T is the creator of that program. I did that program for 3 or 4 months when we lived in Clear Lake, Iowa, which was about an hour and a half from my hometown. And then when we moved back in with my in-laws for a year, I did it from October to December, and then I did it from February or March until this past November when I got Beachbody On Demand, and then I got to try some other programs. Like I did Shift Shop and A Little Obsessed, preparing for 80-Day Obsession so that I could try to do an intermediate to advanced program. If you would have told me a year ago that I would have completed and did an intermediate to advanced program, I would have told you were crazy, especially because I have a lower back injury. It's in the L4 and L5 vertebrae, so like the last vertebrae is before you hit your tailbone. And so I was very concerned with lifting any weights, and I used to be like a cardio junkie and go running all the time, but I went running for the wrong reasons and I wasn't fueling my body properly. And now I'm fueling my body properly and making good, healthy decisions food-wise most days, but there's balance. And I've been a little off on my nutrition lately, but I'm human and I will get back to it. And if you're out there, I would love to help you get started and start a health and fitness journey, or if you're interested in the coaching opportunity, this is my personal invitation to invite you to join me. And I would just really like to help some ladies or some men, and I'm starting my second round of 80-Day Obsession in June. Anybody that wants to join me on that would be cool. But if anybody found this beneficial or for anyone, feel free to share it, because you're not alone. You don't have to feel sad or like that just because a doctor is giving you any kind of diagnosis or any type of medical diagnosis that's the end for you. If that is you and you feel like you're lost and would like some help, some accountability, please send me a DM. I would love to chat with you about your goals, or just if you want to chat, that's cool too. Hope everyone has a great Friday. It's Friday. It's my last day of work for the week. I changed my work schedule. I didn't get weekends off, but I get weekends off now, and Saturday's my wedding anniversary, so I'm super excited. So hope everyone has a great Friday. Talk to you all later.